Hey, it's me again. Come over and take a seat. Relax. What'll you drink? You don't have to say it out loud or anything. I'm right here in your head. We ain't got that. You'll have what I'm having. And by the way, if you've already had a drink with me, just chug this one and skip ahead a bit. Do you like ice? You get ice. There you go. So let me tell you what's coming up here. BarVIO is when me and the fellas tell each other stories based on a prompt. Just drunk this time. Now, I don't listen to these. I can't get myself to. I also don't remember what is said in these. Shocker. What's important to understand is that we fellas know each other real good. We tease, curse a lot, laugh and talk over each other often. We curse a lot. No matter what we say to each other here, this is between us, and in no way reflects the views of BarVIO, or any other entity we mention, quite frankly. Once again, this stuff is explicit, like it says in the little square next to the title, probably. I can't believe I get to say this and have it recorded, but listener discretion is advised. Toodles. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Welcome to tonight's BarVIO, where we drink and we tell stories, personal stories from personal experiences, which may or may not be elaborate works of fiction. Tonight's prompt is fondest memories. Hopefully they are not something illegal this time. Who shall start?
And on this
Not me.
episode,
Not me.
we
Not
don't.
me either.
All right,
You
it sounds
guys.
like I'm gonna go. Since I'm already talking, but tonight's episode we don't have the peanut gallery. It's just us four boys.
The boys.
All right, so this is like a kind of like a two-part story. Me and Andrew, a few other friends, way back in the day, and over in La Costa, Mexico, decided that we were bored and we were gonna have lightsaber duels while driving around. And now, mind you, I don't remember how that conversation started, how we came up with the idea.
No,
Do you?
no. What happened was
I don't
Zach
remember
just
how-
had his lightsabers, and like we started
Oh,
like
we
playing
went-
around with them in the parking lot,
I said,
right?
let's go to Walmart and get more.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
went to Walmart. We're
We
like,
went
we
to
got so
buy-
hyped on this idea that we were like, let's go to Walmart. And on the way back, so I remember now. So all right, so we get hyped. We're playing around with them in the parking lot. We get all hyped. We're like, what if we were hanging out of the cars? We started like beating each other up with the lightsabers. How sick would that be? That's so cool. It's such a dumb idea. We're like 20.
It was literally just you, me, and Zach.
Yeah, it was just three of us.
Yeah.
And so the three of us, we get all hyped. We're like, all right, let's go. So we hop in the 73 Datsun that Zach had.
Oh, wait, you guys were old enough to drink.
Sick. Here's the thing. So, and it may or may not be an elaborate work of fiction. Since I was may or may not have been 19 years old, just walked into places and be like,
No,
can I have this?
We might have been, yeah.
Were we 21 yet?
I don't understand how. Does that count as a lighter? I don't know if that law even applied until after we were 21. What does that have to do with
Whatever,
it?
we're in Mexico anyway.
Yeah, no. He was asking if we were old enough to drink.
Uh,
I think we were like 19.
it might have been. It was probably like 2014, 2015, maybe.
Okay, so yeah, if we weren't, we were just like right about to. So,
All right.
But yeah,
You guys were
so
just
we
broke.
we take off to Walmart, and then Andrew Spitfire at the time was the other car that was running. So it's this little tiny British sports car. It's nice and low to the ground. The 73Z is fairly small, tankish compared to your car.
The 240Z is what knocked it off the market.
Yeah, literally, actually, that's a good point. Yeah. And hold on one second. Let me open this beverage, this tasty beverage.
Okay.
Anyways, so we get to Walmart. We find more lightsabers, those plastic crappy ones that are telescoping. We get super hyped. We hop back into the car. And
Those
we're
the ones
down.
where you like whip it with your
Yeah.
wrist. They all just come. Okay.
Yeah. And we get in the cars. We got him out. Andrew's driving with one hand. Mind you, he's doing this. He's got a manual gearbox, so he's like changing up into fourth gear, and then
you can do that with one hand.
Takes his lightsaber out with his left hand, and I'm hanging out of my buddy's passenger side of the 73's Datsun's, like hanging out. And Andrew and I decide to start lightsaber dueling while
going down the road at like
40-ish miles an hour, 50-ish miles an hour.
And so we're doing this, and we have like this car behind us, and I'm like, oh man, that'd be so funny if it were a cop, but we'd be so busted by now. So it's
It's
whatever.
safe, so we keep going. We don't think anything of it, and we keep dueling, and we get up to a red light, and it 100% it was a cop. We didn't stop next to each other. He turned right, and we kept going straight, but we just all went, oh shit! And then we started laughing. We're like, maybe he didn't pull us over because he's had a boring night all night.
And he's like,
This
just
is
like
hilarious.
these idiots
They're
are like
fine.
totally fine. Like
They're
Yeah.
not going too
no
fast,
traffic. We're
It
we're
was
good.
like
Like
almost midnight. It was like 11 o'clock at night because Walmart was still open, so it was like right before midnight.
this is reasonable for the road conditions right now. Like
Yeah, it totally was. And you could definitely see the lightsabers at that time of day.
Oh
Shit.
yeah, it was rad. But we were giggling so hard because we were like, he's going to go back to the police precinct, and he's going to go,
Guys,
hey,
he
you guys,
won't
go check
believe
out
what I
this cam,
fucking
check
He's
saw.
out
got
my
footage
dash cam.
somewhere. The police department has footage of us doing this.
Encinitas Sheriff's Department, please, for the love of God.
Good sports.
These are the guys that hopefully one of you that works there saw this video. I'm hoping someone had to have a good laugh about this. Thank you for not interfering, Encinitas, Mexico Sheriff's Department.
Well,
And, good on you.
it wasn't Encinitas, it was Carlsbad, and the
That
funny
was Acosta. So yeah, that is Carlsbad.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
funniest thing is that we always heard from everybody else that La Costa had the meanest boys, they would pull you over for stupid things and give you the highest fine, whatever they wanted, right? Every single experience we've had with them, they've been remarkably lax. They've been good. They're reasonable. Because this is not even the second time. This is not even out of 3 times, maybe 4. I don't know, but they're. I think it was because our cars are remarkably slow, and we were doing this at
They were just
remarkably late times of the day.
Yeah, the only other car around was that cop. There was no one else around. And I'm hoping one day that dash.
and he's like,
cam
no
footage
drunk
will show-
driver would be doing this shit right now. Like
No,
they're
no,
just having
oh
fun.
hell no,
We
no,
were solid.
no! They'd be like,
Yeah.
gotta get home.
And
Yeah.
that then later translated into there's a video somewhere on the internet of me hanging out of a Subaru out in La Costa area again while my buddy is doing donuts in the dirt while hitting the fuel cutoff on a Subaru while I'm hanging out of it whipping the lightsaber around like I'm fucking in the back of a Toyota of War. It was pretty
You were
fun.
the chosen one.
Yeah, it was a good time. And that pretty much sums up driving around with my buddies. That's my fondest memory out of one of many. But just hanging out with the boys, going for aimless drives, absolutely no reason, we wasted. We probably could have saved thousands of dollars in gas had we not. We drove all of our paychecks went to driving around
Yeah,
and cigarettes.
pretty much.
That is it. We put
Can
out of
confirm that, yeah.
yeah, out of all picked up our cars. I picked up mine at 160K, and when I parked my GTI, I was at 189 or 190. And I only had it for a year and a half, 2 years. And I didn't drive. I bought it in LA, drove it straight down, and I never drove it to LA except one other time. So that car, that was all local miles in North County. Thousands and thousands of miles in just North County trips, going up and down the Coast Highway, cutting around over to Vista,
Yeah.
racing around San Marcos and Escondido.
I'm
and
pretty sure I
shit.
put 20,000 miles a year on mine.
Yeah, but
Nice.
it was an unspoken little rule of our little car group. It was the same as any we had turned it we made it a club, quote unquote, but we any other club you have to put X amount of miles. We never put that down on paper, but we put so many miles on our cars together that it was never until my car broke down.
Yeah.
And after that, that's when it fell apart.
You drive it till it breaks and don't work no more.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
I must have put 20,000. Must have put 40,000 the first 2 years, and then it started breaking all the time.
Yeah, we really drove the shit. I mean, I don't want. I don't know. Are you gonna tell them the crankshaft story?
I thought I
I don't know if
told
you
that
that
story
before.
a
Oh, you
million
have? Yeah,
times.
no,
Yeah.
but just to prove his point, yeah, if he has told it, then your listeners at home, you've heard this motherfucking story before. Like, he was driving it so much, he decided, like, let me try and race a Camaro, and guess what? It won't do that. On the crankshaft. It was so wild.
And that was after I said bye to everybody, and I had to...
Yeah.
I had to like meet back up with them at the Sevier Levee,
Yep.
and I roll in. Everyone's like, "Oh,
We think something's wrong.
what did he do this time?" And I'm like, "Guys."
He fricasseed that British motor. That's what he did.
I was like, "Fellas,
Yeah.
Fricassee. That's a fun word that doesn't get used enough anymore.
very V bad this time."
Yeah. So, all right, fellas. All right, so I'm gonna choose who goes next. Who am I putting on the spot? David. Son of a bitch. What do you got for us?
God. I don't know. I only have like a couple little quick bits. One time, me and a couple of my buddies were driving around in one of my friend's Prius, and then they were threatening me with a road trip up to Los Angeles. And I was like, fellas, it's 10:45 at night. We have school the next day.
Oh, my story and your story differ so much.
I know. I don't know.
Keep going.
I'll think of some other ones, but this is gonna be quick. What? Oh.
Just point your mic towards your mouth.
There we go. Okay.
No, I mean like your mic's falling out. There we go. There we go.
You gotta have the zing you facing you, buddy. That's the front.
It doesn't matter where it faces.
Allegedly.
Just like it was
No, the
falling
zing
out.
you, dude, dog.
Oh,
you
that's-
just literally
that's-
flipped it around.
Oh, I
Zing-
didn't see that up
Come
top.
on, bud. Jesus Christ.
Penny. All right. Anyway,
Professionals
So-
at work. Don't try this at home, everyone.
they were like, "All right, boys, we're driving up to LA. I got a full tank of gas in the Prius." I'm like, "No, Carl, we shall not be doing that."
Carl.
It's
Short for
Carlton,
Carlton?
but-
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
And then my other buddy was up in the front seat, and I was just
I
like,
called him a sexy bitch once.
"It's
I
not
thought it
loud."
was you.
Just
Yeah.
once, huh?
It was a mistake.
He
It
was
dark.
like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh,
"Sorry."
you're standing outside of my house and you're shaped like my brother in the dark." My bad.
So and then we're up at like Torrey Pines Road, like right up at the top, about to go like downhill the first part. And I decided, I was like, I'm going to hop out of the backseat of this car right now as everything's in the middle of the street. I just hop out of the car. I'm not going. And my other buddies were behind me because they didn't know what was going on. They were just going to kidnap me.
You
and
didn't
start
tell
going
anybody.
north.
You just left.
I just made a quick escape.
And I'm out.
I just booked it out the side of the car, ran back into my other buddy's car, and like everyone, I'm like, please don't turn green, please don't turn green. Right as I open the door, the light turns green. I'm like, let's go! And I jumped in the other car. I'm like, they were trying to take me to Los Angeles, boys. Take me to my house. I want to go home. And so
Onward,
okay,
Bitumen.
that's a quick one.
Yeah.
Oh geez.
Oh, what was the aftermath of that? How long did it take for them
and
to
then-
realize you were gone?
We ended up going on through like a whole little like chase through like UCSD. But my buddy hopped a curb to get his escape out of the Prius. And then what was hilarious is we escaped, and the Prius driven by Carlton, who got pulled over by the UCSD cop. And the guy's like, "Why do your brakes smell?" And Carl's like, "Oh, I left my parking brake on."
Like,
Okay. And it's like, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Carlton should have said, "It's not my brakes, Daddy." He would have been like, "Have a good night."
But
I don't have time for this craziness.
yeah, it was just two dudes in a Prius, so he probably could have said that and gone away with it. But,
yeah.
that was a quick little tale of me. And then, I guess like just me driving, like, it took me a while to like really like adjust to the fact that I had dropped that much coin on an old Mercedes. Like the first week I drove, I'm like, why did I do this? So did I make a mistake? And then about second week I was driving and I was just like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. I have this. I can't believe I spent the money on this. It's
Rewind. Which Mercedes?
awesome. My car.
The one you have now.
Yeah.
Is this a new story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he-
was my other quick tale. I don't
Yeah,
really have
Okay.
many. I
you
don't-
missed the quick transition.
That's
No,
it.
yeah, I totally did. Yeah. If that wasn't evident.
Yeah. And then that's the second part. It's like coolest thing I did, actually driving as opposed to bailing out the back seat and
That's a pretty good
escaping.
story,
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Wasn't really anything exciting. But
Oh, just like dropping your buyer's remorse?
yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Have you ever like really driven that thing?
Like hammered it.
Yeah.
On a street in Mexico very close to my house, that's not a street that you would want to do this on. I was doing like 85 and just zooming past people. I was just like, let's go! So yeah,
This is German bullet.
I was like, Autobahn is Nobel Drive. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Paseo Nobel.
Yeah.
Calle Nobel.
Right over by Allen's by that. The park
Stasa
by the
Nobel. Yeah.
Estación de Fuego. So, yeah, and that's yeah. I've done that a couple times. Just thought I might break something, but this is fun. But that was about it, really.
Nice.
With me in that car. But anyway, who's up next?
You choose.
Oh shit.
We don't have to worry about honks in this too.
Honk.
This is uncensored, so feel free.
Benny.
Ooh.
Okay.
Does that mean he could have just said fucking Benny instead of Benny?
Yeah, absolutely, motherfucking lootly.
Fucking
We
Benny.
can say
Get
whatever
to
the
it.
hell.
All right,
we
you
want.
son of a bitch.
All
We
right.
share a
Honk.
mom. Damn it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That was the one person in this room.
I mean,
shouldn't
we're
have said
only
that
like
to.
we're only like 15 minutes in.
I know,
We
we're
could
really-
like have another round.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
We
like
will.
I honestly just thought of this while we were like
I know, I'll
recording
think of
right now,
something
so I could
major,
probably
also,
come up
so
with
sure.
something better. But this is a pretty good one. This one does not involve David. Sorry, bud. But okay.
Neither of those
I'm gonna-
involved you.
I'm gonna try and
and
that's fine. That's actually totally fine. You're right. Okay, fuck you then. So, high school. I'm gonna draw this out because we're like you said, only 15 minutes in. Not like a lot, but like some.
Everyone at
We're
home
gonna
just,
start at
like, turn
the
down volume and
beginning.
walk
Draw away.
Okay. So,
What year were you born?
Do chores.
Oh, there's a burp that's right here that won't come
Yeah.
out.
away.
Do a jumping jack.
Okay, we're back. That burp is still right here, but we're gonna just power through. I got the star, David, and we're gonna get through it. So high school, my first car was a 1999 Mitsubishi Galant. It was a pile of shit.
God,
Oh,
those are
yeah,
terrible.
this car.
Oh my god.
I got this car.
this
I got this car. You've heard this
400
before. I'll
bucks
go
at
quick.
best.
Yeah.
BarVIO, 855-955.
1999 Mitsubishi Galant. Honestly, Andrew, tell me, when was the last time we had a 1999 Mitsubishi Galant?
Rare.
They're
Very
all
rare.
gone already.
I know. That's exactly my point. That's
Yeah.
exactly my point.
This one has
Even
a six.
even
It
even the
moves.
ones
so-
after 2000 are all gone.
I had
Yeah.
I had this. This was pre-2000. This could go to Radwood. This fucking car. Do you understand? Do you realize that? That's insane.
Yeah. The V6
This
had one
piece of
little dent.
shit.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
god, yeah. I had a dent when I hit a seagull, and I just saw feathers behind me.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. They're like
I
rats
hit a
with
seagull. It made this triangle dent in the hood, and then
Where's
it
beak
cracked the windshield where its beak hit.
wings. Okay.
The whole bird hit the
No,
hood. The beak
man.
hit the windshield, and then feathers tailed behind me. Right. So that was this car. This car also had a check engine light on that would not die.
right. I
It
remember
would not
that.
go away.
Well, it did.
It got to the. It did, but it.
Eventually.
But it didn't.
But it didn't. But it didn't.
The illumination disappeared, but sensors were still firing. You know what I mean? and
The lights
and,
were on, but no one was home.
yeah. No, the lights were off, and
And everyone
people
was
were
home.
screaming. That's what happened. The lights were off, and people were on fire, burning alive. And so this car, I had this car, and then I was like, Dad, we got to get rid of this car. And I put together like this guy, buddy in my auto shop class with Davis, who I spoke about earlier, who was like one of the greatest people ever in the history of people ever. And I was in his class. This other kid was in his class as well. His name was Vito, buddy. He had a Nissan hardbody, 1987 Nissan hardbody, single cab, long bed, automatic, 120-something thousand miles. I had started to make this deal with him to buy this truck from him because it was like a cool little truck,
Yeah.
right? Like, It was brown, like a very faded brown.
One of the
It
doors was
started
black,
as
wasn't it?
tan. No. I'm getting to that.
Okay, sorry.
Right before I was supposed to buy it, Vito crashed it in Mexico while drinking cervezas, and he mashed the fuck
his ass,
he mashed the fuck out of the left front fender, and like it's a hard body, so there's no like really fixing that.
Yeah.
So I went to this place in Chula Vista and bought a new unpainted
What does hard
fender.
body mean? Just real quick for the folk.
It's just like steel.
Yeah.
It's just like all steel, and it's a fucking dope truck, and they made them in the 80s and early 90s, and they were incredible the whole time, and I want another one. It's the Toyota of War of Nissan, and it was I bought this fender, put it on, whatever. My grandmother saw this truck and was like, no grandchild of mine will be driving that abomination. And I was like, yeah, Jewish grandmother wants you to be safe. That's none of those things.
Yeah.
No airbags. Like, listen, I could. The speedometer needle from Sun had snapped off. So like,
Wow.
There was the nubbin and then like a little piece of needle, but it like did not tell
So
you where
you had
it
a
was
good guess.
on the thing.
But that was where it stopped.
Yeah. This truck had
You knew that you were accelerating.
wait. This truck had skull glow in the dark dice for tire.
Yeah,
Tire,
the TPM things.
like the cover,
The stems, the valve stem covers.
valve stem cover. That's what. Thank you. It had that. It had a radiator that was just puking fucking coolant because
Where's for the motor? It's valve cap.
because there was no when Vito crashed it, the radiator had gotten fucked up, and I was like, the fender's all it needs, and slapped the fender on there. I was like, it's perfect, because I couldn't like pull the fucking front out any further, you know. The back bumper was hanging down, and so we put a jack in auto shop with Davis, and this was completely like okayed by him. Hear me out. We put a jack like all the way. We jacked up the back of the truck by the bumper. Got every kid in the class to stand in the bed of the truck and jump up and down until it was even again.
That's how it's done.
This was
The factory would have done the same
a
thing.
San Diego public school assignment.
It's just a bumper.
Get in the back of my truck and jump a lot until this is flat. And that was the assignment. Okay? So
Extra credit.
Your worksheet.
So I had this truck.
Yeah.
My grandma fucking hated it, and so she ended up putting up some kesef and buying me a Camry,
Oh.
safe Camry,
True grandmother move right there, coming through in
brand
the
new.
clutch.
Listen, not to be ungrateful, I was happy with my truck, but I have a brand new Camry, no complaints, right?
Yeah.
So got that late my junior year, or early my senior year in high school.
Is there
And
a story with this vehicle?
Yeah,
anywhere?
shut the
No.
fuck up. I told you I was going to draw this out, asshole.
Fair enough.
We're getting to the story as we speak. Be patient.
This has only been 6 minutes.
Yeah, so
Wild.
fuck off.
I will. Sorry. That's my bad.
Brothers are fighting tonight. Ding ding.
So I had this Camry, you know, in high school. I wasn't a fucking nerd and I had friends. So we would, you know, senior year, nobody gives a shit. Teachers don't really care. This is public school. Nobody cares.
No.
And so, like, weeknights, not weeknights, we would get in my car and I'd be like, I'm hungry. And my friends, it was like normally the same couple of people, my girlfriend at the time and like some of our other friends. And I was like, you guys want pancakes? And they're like, I'm down for pancakes. And I'm like, sick. So then I wouldn't tell them we're doing this. So that's where the story changes from David.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell them we were doing this, but we drove directly to Los Angeles.
Oh my god.
And we went to the original pantry, which is like backs up right against the fucking Staples Center,
Okay.
or what was once the Staples. I don't know if it's still a Staples.
Yeah,
Is it
Staples Center's still there.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Crypto.com arena.
Oh,
Thank
it's not
you.
Staples
Thank you.
Center?
Yeah, I know,
right?
but it's
Oh,
still the
shit.
Staples
But,
Center.
like,
it's
it's the Staples
Qualcomm's
Center.
always Qualcomm, even though now it doesn't exist. RIP.
Jack Murphy, bitch. So So we would just drive to L.A. And this place, the original pantry, it's in Los Angeles. It used to be owned by like the mayor of Los Angeles. It's a historical landmark in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
It's been open since the 20s. They used to hire strictly felons, and they just pump out fucking breakfast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yes.
365 days a year.
Slaps.
Let's go.
Pancakes
And they've
are
been open like
delicious.
more than the pancakes are the best pancakes.
Bacon?
They're the best
Thick.
pancakes ever. Bacon's thick. They have the menus on the wall, and it doesn't fucking change ever.
love
It's
that,
the same.
yes.
They
They
used to
might
have
have a
on the
special
table. They used to have
once.
on the table a little card. You know where they like have the little triangle next to the like napkin dispenser, and it has like specials or whatever.
If you're in
This
LA,
had a history
go.
of the pantry, and it said, "This is how many cups of orange juice we've served, and this is how many cups of coffee we've." And it's like in the millions. It's insane.
Holy shit.
And like how many eggs, how many fucking pounds of hash browns, pancakes, all that shit was on there, and you're just like, what the fuck? This place has been open nonstop for like 80 something years. This is insane. And so we would go up there like often, but I would never tell them we were going.
just
Just
like,
like, you
let's go.
hungry? And it would be like 11:30 at night. We get there at like 1 a.m., eat pancakes for 40 minutes, and drive home.
That's the dumb shit that we would do. Like, just like go somewhere random.
And
Yeah.
everyone every time loved it. And like it was just so much fun. And then one time, I think it was like one of the first times we went up there, like the freeway that you're supposed to take to get there. And this is like barely like Google Maps. This is like
Right.
MapQuest.
between MapQuest and Google Maps.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Not even like hold on, not even a map. It was just like step-by-step directions you would print out. And you'd be reading frantically in the dark because
Yeah.
your mom and dad told you not to turn on the fucking overhead map
Yeah, at
light.
like 1 a.m.
Oh, man,
trying
yeah.
to fucking get pancakes. And the freeway, like we got the directions were correct, but the directions didn't know that the freeway that we were supposed to go on at these particular hours of the night was fucking closed. So they detoured us onto another freeway, and we were just like, "Where the fuck are we?" Like this was an unexpected twist that I was not ready for, right? And so we're around there, and we're there, and we get off the freeway, and we're like trying to get directions, and we go to like the only, like obviously the only place open at this point, so it's 7-Eleven or something like that. And we walk in there, and I'm like asking for directions, like, we're trying to get to the pantry, it's in LA, like where the fuck are we right now? You know? And like I'm trying to like decipher where we are from this like poor midnight shift
You're on La
cashier.
Cienega, but on the complete wrong side.
I might as well be in fucking Long Beach. I have no idea where I am. Okay, and so we're like standing there getting directions, and there's like people shopping, and we're like, all right, whatever. And then like other people walk in, and then a cop walks in, and the cop sees the people that are in there, and looks at us, and is just like,
Okay.
what of these does not belong? And it was us.
Okay.
And he's like, what are you guys doing here? We're like, trying to get the fuck out of here. Essentially, like, do you know how to get to the pantry? Because this guy is unsure, and they don't have MapQuest on his cash register. So,
Yo.
like, I was like, we're trying to get to the pantry. Like, where do we go? The freeway's closed. I have MapQuest. Fucking help. And he's like, oh, go this way, that way, and that way. But, like, do it right now. And we're like, oh,
Damn, all right.
okay. So
Is this like some like don't come to the store tomorrow kind of thing?
Yeah, this is like this store's gonna be closed tomorrow kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like things are about to happen in this store that like none of us really want to be a part of. And never saw what happened, never saw anything about it on the news, nothing like that, but the cop was just like,
shit like that though.
you guys should go. And we're like,
Noted.
heard.
Yeah.
And then we got there and we got pancakes and we're all like, what the fuck was that? And everybody's like, I don't know, but I'm glad we're not there anymore. These pancakes are great. And then we
Yeah.
went home.
That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good little road trip story.
Yeah. Good time.
All right, Andrew. What's one of your fond memories, my friend?
Okay, so I guess I'll start with a short one. When I first got the car, the shit fire.
I haven't heard that nickname in a while.
it was a pretty long wait, and you know when you're waiting on your first car and it's like something like that, it like takes forever. It took a week, and then it came in on one of those like trailers where it holds like 8 cars and stuff, and this thing was dwarfed by them all.
Yeah.
But you know,
Can I just say something on that point?
Yeah.
I sat in the shit fire for the first time recently. I've heard about it for a year and saw it for the first time this week. And Andrew was nice enough to let me sit in it, and I was like, because I was like, I will not fucking fit in this thing. And he was
Jealous.
like, Chuck did when he was fat.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big
Try
boy.
it. And I was like, all right.
Oh.
And I tried to open the passenger door. He's like, not that one.
Broke it. I forgot about
And I was like, oh, you just want me to sit in the driver's seat? He's like, no, it's broken. You can't get in. And I was like, all right. So I like went to the driver's seat and I got in and I was like, I fit. It's sick. Like closed the door, was sitting in it.
Yeah.
And I like, moved my feet on the pedals. I was like, I have no idea where the accelerator is. It might not even be in the car or attached right
It
now.
is. It's
But
just
I like
doing it.
couldn't figure out where it was, whatever. And then I tried to get out. And your boy has thick thighs, as they say,
I feel
right?
you.
Yo, you were spilling over the parking brake. I was like, good Lord, buddy, you wouldn't
Bro.
even be able to save yourself when those brakes go out.
No, I'm getting crushed alive in that thing. Like that's.
You're gonna become a nice,
It's
like,
known.
cooked tuna in water.
And I was like, Andrew, like the door handle to get out, and the inside,
Yeah,
the inner
can't
door handle is
get to
like
it.
really, really low. And I was like, first of all, I can't move my knee.
and
second of all,
the windows are up. I can't hear them. And
my knee is like too thick to like get my
He's like
hand, and I'm wearing a thick watch too, which like doesn't help.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to get my hand like to the door handle. I'm like, Andrew, I can't help. I can't get out.
he was just like looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like. And I'm like, oh.
And then I'm like, you gotta do it. You gotta do it from out
I
there.
was like, I've seen this before.
Yeah. And then he let me out. But I mean,
don't wanna go
that's
in
a
it.
good way to trap fat men.
He did. You trapped this fat man.
Tiny
for a
British
while.
car.
He's like, oh, you can't go in that side because the door handle
No, I know.
can't get
He
in.
used to open it
You
for
gotta
me
go
like
in
I was
over there.
8. He
Yeah.
used to open it from the inside. It was.
Yeah, and so that was a time. That was fun. It's
I
fun.
re-
And then
I
I got
still-
out and told him like, hey man, I don't think I can ever drive with you in this because
I'll tell
Like,
you,
it's supposed to be a fun
It
car.
is definitely the
It's supposed-
passenger seat's like more
that's not
roomier
the point.
than
What did
any
I tell
other-
you? What did I tell you? I said I can't drive in this car with you because I'm going to ruin the experience. I will throw off the entire weight
I did.
distribution of
Yeah.
this car. And
Yeah,
he's like, Chuck did.
you threw
and I was
off.
like,
You almost threw us off
fine.
a cliff.
I did almost throw us off a cliff, but that's a
yeah.
different
He went
story.
into that story right after I said that.
Yep.
And I was like, oh,
Proving my point.
we'll drive it. Yeah. That's fine.
I still remember the exact moment that door handle broke. See, what happened is the retractors don't really work for the seat belts, and so if you weren't careful, you had to tuck the seat belt kind of
You close the
between
seatbelt in
the
the
rocker
door?
panel and the seat, and
Allison's car, the
passengers
BarVIO.
don't really
Every car I
remember
drive
that.
these
So
days does that.
a friend was
Was it me?
was getting out, slammed the door, and it didn't sound the same. And I'm like, oh, buddy, this is about to be a rough 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, I think I've closed something in your door before, though.
no, it was they have. I've done it on
Okay.
my door. Yeah, but like passengers have done it before. But this time, it was Jeremy.
It was just right.
It just, well, he like
Wrong.
on the handle, and you just hear this pop, and I'm like, oh dear, you've done it now. So I must have. I think it took like 3 weeks to get this thing running, and it had nothing with how it had nothing to do with how I was trying to fix it, because I was actually like doing stuff. The very first thing I did was check all the caliper seals and the brake calipers when I got it, and then I
Safety
started
first.
rebuilding the top end of the carburetor, because every time I'd start it, it'd be backfiring and it wouldn't be running right at all. And anyway, what happened there was that at some point between me getting it, maybe I did it, I don't know, but I put it in the American firing order, and English firing order is
You told us
backwards,
about
because
this
of course
on
it
the
is.
first car story day time podcast. Did we not?
Oh, that's
play that
fine.
one?
Yeah, but
Right.
Building up to it.
I was like, oh, I okay. No,
so
no,
for the
keep
first
going.
3 weeks, I
Sorry.
didn't even get to drive it. And I didn't even know how to drive manual.
It's an interesting choice of learner.
David
manual
still
car.
doesn't.
Hey,
I didn't know. Ooh, really?
I figured out the 240 diesel pretty easy, but that's also
Yeah, but that's like the
not
most
that hard.
forgiving.
You cannot stall that thing out.
non-existent clutch.
It is so torquey, you could dump the clutch and it would just go.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't really know.
And as a reminder, I ended up years before Benny ended up sitting next to me at work.
Oh yeah, we told that story before.
Yeah,
we have.
I-
We've done that,
but here on here, yeah, maybe.
yeah, no, we have. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had it's on one of the
Yeah.
episodes.
So as a reminder that happened. So
His
My-
friend bought my car.
my dad
Now we
had
work
to
together. The end.
teach me how to drive manual in it because I don't know. I don't even remember how I got it over there. I learned in about an hour because it was a very forgiving car. So I would just drive it around. But I didn't really know how to actually drive it. And I didn't even really think about it, honestly, until I started hanging out with Chuck and Greg and Zach and thems.
Shout out Greg. I know you're listening right now, so this one's for you, buddy.
Shout out Greg.
So we were in a parking lot at a grocery store because I think like a couple of our friends worked there, and I think Greg
Oh, everyone has
had
a
like
friend that works at a grocery store.
like a second job there. So I don't know.
How many
I don't
free
remember.
Von sandwiches I got? Unreal.
But anyways, Greg's like, "Can I try driving this thing?" And like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Village bicycle, yada yada." I'll just ride in the
That
passenger
was
seat.
Jimmy's
He's like, "Okay."
favorite phrase.
Right. And at this time, he had like a
Bicycle.
2012 Camaro SS and all that.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
was pretty used to power and like dumping the clutch and sliding it out and whatever, right? So he gets in this thing and he starts ripping it around the grocery store and behind the grocery store. And if you drive behind a grocery store, there's not that much room. And he's power sliding
Yeah.
around the corners. And the whole time I'm like, right? And then he parks the car, and I look at him. And I'm like, "Can I try that?"
In your own car.
And he's like, "Yeah." And he gets in the passenger seat, and I start doing the same thing. And I'm like, "Holy crap! It's like I was born to do this."
And then he called Enzo and he said, "I'm a race for your team."
So that was
And then he said, "We don't hire Canadians."
that's an important a part in a very fond memory. I have another short, kind of simple one, but it's sometimes when my brother and I would hang out, my little brother, and like we'd like go somewhere else. It's usually his now wife's parents' house. We would obviously he'd tape his Scion TC. You know, he'd make new tires go bald in 20,000 miles. It was
We used to
Truly
terrorize
just the
having a
fronts.
Scion, but he drove the piss out of that car.
wow. And it wasn't really that much faster in like acceleration and all that, but it was kind of like a who can stay ahead of each other and like play the chess in the traffic and end up there first. And whenever we get down a long straight, he would just barely pass me, and then he'd cut me the fuck off. And then he would spray his windshield wipers. And mine are like all dry rotted from like 10 years of sitting. And I'm like, "No, I can't do anything with this. It takes 2 hands to start the windshield wipers."
He was such a little shit. I love Alex.
British designed at its finest in the most unsafe driving conditions make it take 2 hands to be able to see.
Yeah.
Alex is a G for that. That's such a funny move.
That was more than a one-time thing.
Oh yeah, he did that to me when I was.
He always did that, man. He would always just.
Such a little shit.
Let's see. Trying to think of.
Oh, I have a fond memory.
Go ahead.
All right, back to Chuck. We're doing round 2. Round 2.
Ding ding ding. So, it's Greg. Shout out to you again, buddy. When he was first learning how to drive his
Camaro,
Camaro.
SS. There was some times where when it wasn't like the normal driving. Greg had mastered just driving it around normal, no big deal. This is when he was trying to be he who shall not be named and his Mustang. And it's an old friend of ours that we wanted to rot in hell. Anyways, long story short.
Well, I was like, you had a Mustang.
No, this was a fast Mustang. No, not my Mustang 2. My Mustang 2, come on, a Camaro SS versus a Mustang 2, why was he practicing for that?
That sounds like a really fun driving experience for you. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no, I wish my Mustang was that fast. No, this was a 2011 or 12?
It was 2013.
13.50. So, but it was automatic. So, boo hiss. Yeah,
the people smuggling motor.
Yeah.
Coyote.
The Quixote, yeah. So, but Greg was practicing to do this, and there was a time where me and Nick Delacqua, Nick, shout out to you too. We were sitting in his Civic, and they had gone at it up Palomar Airport Road in La Mexico, and we were sitting there, and I'm taking a video of it. And they take off into the distance, and Greg, you can hear Greg miss a shift a little bit, and then you just hear the power come back on. He's like, he just lost by probably quarter car, half car because of that shift, and we've fallen behind in Nick's Civic, and we get about halfway up to where they where you could where the miss shift was, and you could smell clutch, dude, just so much clutch. And there's a video of me and Nick Delacqua crying, laughing, going, "We can smell clutch!" And we showed it to him, and he got so mad. And then that's, I think, why he was such. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Greg. On this one, send me a message. But there was also another video we took of me driving my GTI, and he always called it a bunch of angry bees.
Yeah.
I think that's low key why he said that. He did anything to cloud my GTI because I gave him a lot of shit for that burnt clutch thing for a long time. We harassed him about that. I do know he remembers that.
That does remind me of another story. Normal night, we were just fucking around, and then all of a sudden, some. I don't remember. It was two other dudes or one other guy, and
BMW?
What?
The BMW?
No, the three. It was probably a 350Z if I'm honest, but a guy was actually in my weight training class.
Cute.
And he shows up, and just a bunch of hot boy shit, and then so we go to the business park, where you do stuff.
Business.
Handle business.
Where we handle business. And we start doing donuts and stuff in the cul-de-sacs, and this guy's actually he's handling it pretty well. And then we go to some let's go find concrete. Gotta find big slabs of concrete. So we go to a docking bay. It's big, it's flat, it's whatever, right? This guy starts doing figure eights. He's like, we're like, well, very nice.
Well,
precision.
Let's see Paul Allen's figure eight. So I hop in there and I start doing figure eights. They're okay.
Paul Allen's figure eight. Oh my god, that was incredible. That's one of my favorite movies.
And then, wow, that's a red flag, buddy.
That movie's great, dude. That movie's so good. It's hilarious.
And then Chuck's like, I'm gonna do it in my GTI.
Yeah.
His
Everyone's
GTI.
like,
No.
Oh yeah.
His GTI. No.
Yeah, we've said this one before. Yeah.
Thanks, Shane Gillis.
Speaking of burnt clutch,
In his GTI. Dude. So I don't think you were even trying to do a figure eight. You were just trying to do a front wheel drive burnout. I'm gonna do a front wheel drive burnout. We're like, yeah, so cool. And then, and so you went. And a bunch of smoke just started pluming out from the front of the car, and it kept going and then we're like, stop!
Screaming at me, stop. And I just kept going.
And and they're like, yo, they're cheering for me. They're putting their hands up. Yay!
I'm deaf.
Yeah, and then from the outside, all of a sudden you just hear da da da. And you're like, holy shit, he got the message. But boy, is it fucking stinky out here, man. And that was the beginning of the end for that car.
The GTA.
It started slipping pretty bad.
I in my infinite wisdom in like just being with the boys and not thinking, being a very young man, not being clear-headed, full of testosterone, being stupid, forgot that that's a dual mass flywheel clutch. And so it's like an extra amount of slip. So when it's a smooth gear change, right? Well, that also doesn't make for great burnouts. And I had super wide Nito Motivos on the front that were fairly new.
Yeah.
That car has 180 horsepower. As an adult man now, I know that was never, even with a good clutch, never going to break those tires loose and do a burnout. But no, I was like 22, I think, or something, 21.
No, dude, like, you were like 20, 21 at the
20 or
oldest
21
probably,
then, yeah. And I was like, full set, I'm the coolest, and I'm the dumbest.
Jesus
so
Christ.
tow truck!
I drove that shit home. I drove it home, but that was the beginning of that. Like a couple weeks later, then the alternator blew, which killed the battery.
It started slipping real bad. You're like, bro, it's slipping real bad on me.
It's slipping so bad.
The tie rods were done.
No, that I fixed those because so that's a separate story. Real fast, we were going down La Costa again, and like in the middle of the night, I took a corner really fast and was like trying to hug the corner, and there was a curb, and I hit like a dip where there's like a gutter, like the graded gutter thing. And it yanked the tire, and it bounced me off the fucking curb. And I was like, that is the last time I've had a good tire. That was terrifying. I thought I cracked a wheel, because they were crappy little like wheels from discount tire that came with the car. But anyways, yeah. I had fixed those by that point. But yeah, everything just went. Gone. The shock tower, you'd probably think that the shock tower mounts were shot in that thing.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about that story, yes. Yeah.
Anyways.
I got another, but like it's your guys' turns.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
David?
You're reminiscent about the old days.
Dude, I don't know.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I have now had the Previa for.
Oh, I got one. Sorry.
Thank you, David.
Please go. I'm like,
lightning bolt. His eyes lit up so much.
I thought about this outside earlier. It's just a real quick one.
Ooh,
I went
wow.
to the University of San Diego, which, if you don't know, is a pretty expensive like Catholic private school. I
Jew?
stuck out like a sore nose. Yes, Chuck.
Sore nose. Well played,
I'll
sir.
tell you what. But I remember I told Benny, I'm like, yo, let me drive the Previa to school one day. And I commuted, so obviously I was like, usually it was either the Hyundai or I had a Subaru Impreza at least before this. And those were just kind of boring pedestrian cars. And the Subaru was loud as shit. But besides the point, I drove the Previa into USD's campus. I remember rolling up right next to like a GLC driven by a person who's my age and just going, haha. Nice. This Previa cost $2,500. That's what you spent on your
between
bag.
two people, and it needed $4,000 worth of work. Let's fucking go.
So yeah, it was really funny. Just kind of driving around. I parked it, just locked it up with so much pride. I was like, let me make sure I locked it. People were looking at me like, who the fuck cares about this kind of goddamn minivan shaped like a damn egg? And I was just remember looking at these kids who were looking at me, and one of them was like, yo, sick van, bro. I was like, hey, thank you, man.
Yeah,
dude. He's like, I think it's sweet. He's like, and you had a what was it, Clinton Gore sticker on the back?
Oh, hell
He's
yeah.
like, dude, the sticker, bro. It's the,
Oh my God.
He's like, it's the era. I'm like,
Yeah, it said Clinton Gore 96, and I
That's-
was like, I have to get this
That's
sticker.
like when I first got the Spitfire, there was a vote for Nixon little pin button in the
that's
trunk.
No
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Uh-huh.
You probably gonna get a lot of money for that thing.
No, it was pretty far gone.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what happened to that thing. Well, whatever.
You lost it. I remember you talked about that a lot though when you first got the car.
Yeah, it was funny.
But yeah, just feeling super out of place in the Previa was a great. I put on such my confidence face. Like I drove up and the security like got they have a little gate
They were like,
guard.
"Get the fuck
and
outta
you guys
here."
looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? And I just kind of drove in confidently. That was all. And I hopped out, normal clothes, with my backpack on, ready to go, and just a minivan. It was sick.
People were walking through the parking lot like, what the fuck, is
Fuck is
happening here?
It was maybe one of the oldest cars I remember. When I parked it, it was the oldest car by a good solid like 7 years in the
You know what?
parking
You know what
lot
everybody
structure
said when they
level
walked
that
by,
I was at.
and they were not correct.
Huh?
Scholarship.
They were not correct, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, for sure. Anyway,
Scholarship.
that was a fun little tale.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Benny.
Fucking
to-
freebies.
Yeah, Benny. It's you now with the Previa.
Yeah. So like, okay. So I've owned the Previa for a hot minute at this point, since 2017-ish or so, I think. More, less, more.
I think 2017. I
Yeah,
can tell you
that's
the
about
exact
right.
day though.
I have driven I've driven it on a lot of road trips, and when I bought it, the air conditioning didn't work, and this is one of those stories where at the time it was horrible, but looking back, it was like fun.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
well,
it
that's
was,
like all the
fun.
stories that
Yeah,
Chuck
yeah.
and I are telling. Those were those times.
Horrible, right?
Yeah.
So, and like this isn't going to be that hard, but it was for me. So the Previa, one of the first modifications we did to it, to be period correct, we got sheepskin seat covers. You know, the fun
The
fuzzy
Sherpa
ones.
things?
Yeah. Well, what I didn't realize at the time was, mind you, at first the Previa didn't have air conditioning for like a hot minute.
Oh boy.
And we took this on a trip to San Francisco. And it was me and Allison, my girlfriend, shout out her, who doesn't think you need to fill your gas tank before it's on the light. And I was like, honey, you were so wrong. No, I tried to get her to listen to the show earlier when we talked about this, and like she hasn't done it yet, but we will.
It's okay. I
And-
don't think Adrian has either yet.
I haven't
was
even
like,
listened
God damn
to
it,
it.
Allison! Like I told you this shit was wrong. Like the one thing I like actually know, and you're like, nah, doesn't matter. And I was like, you were incorrect, and now we proved it. Whatever. Okay, sorry, I love you. So we go to San Francisco in the Previa because I want to take it up there because it's a van and like they belong in the Pacific Northwest, right? That's like where their home is.
It's probably where it came from.
They all die from rust. No, it was like always a California.
It's probably
thing.
where it came from.
But sure, yeah, whatever you say. And so we take it up to San Francisco, and we've been to San Francisco in the van a number of times. So I don't remember if this was one. I think it might have been. I think it was one where we went to Washington. Yeah, it was. It was for sure. We went to Washington on the same trip. So we stopped in San Francisco, did San Francisco stuff, drove to fucking Seattle and surrounding areas. Good time, right? We drove up, but no AC. This might have just been, whatever. It doesn't matter. The story, San Francisco
got
is all that
windows.
matters. Went to San Francisco, did all the San Francisco stuff. Might have gone to Washington, whatever, right? We're driving home, and it is hot. It is so fucking hot out. And these fucking sheepskin seat covers are the bane of my existence, okay? I like, we were driving through, like, farmland, where this is when people still listen to Waze.
Yeah.
Like, like, save 45 seconds to drive 77 miles out of your way.
Yes.
Right? And so we were still doing that, and then we like learned better, and we're like, Waze is for the birds. It's just fucking dumber is sometimes better. You know what I mean? And so like Apple Maps, Google Maps, they work wonders. But whatever, they do fine. And so we're driving home, and we're on some back fuck off road in the middle of nowhere, 2-lane road, and it's just hot as shit, and we're sweating to death. And like, I am down to my underwear. Allison's like, I don't give a fuck who sees me. Down to her underwear, and we're just fucking like driving, sweating, wanting to die. And I'm like, there's not enough water in the whole wide world to make this like go away. These seat covers are done for. I still have them on to this day, but like,
Bro, you had me sitting there.
March.
Now you tell us this story.
that was so long ago. That's all burnt off by now. Like we're
What the fuck, bro?
Oh my god.
you know, it's got big windows. It gets hot in there.
No.
The air conditioning works now. It's fine. Everything's fine. So
March 29th of 2018.
that's not right. Is it
is.
really? Okay, so it might have been on the way to Washington. And if it was, then this story gets even fucking worse. Because
Okay.
we went to a wedding
Yeah.
in Washington with the van on a lake. It was a beautiful lake. I don't remember the lake.
Bet you there's a lot of bugs
It
on
was
the
in Washington. Oh, yes, there were. You know where this is going.
I think I do.
Yes, sir. So, we're staying on the lake for multiple days. We go jump in the lake every morning. It's in our like
Wash the
friend
sweat
group.
off,
It's
yeah.
called a polar bear plunge.
Yeah.
Allison came up with that because, you know, just hilarious. I don't know. It's so, and you know, we just all jump in the fucking water and the lake's cold because it's in Washington and lakes
Yeah.
don't get warm in Washington. No matter how hot it is outside,
Yeah.
the lake will not be reasonable. But it's a lake and it doesn't have sharks and it doesn't have stingrays and it doesn't have like whale cum and it's like it's, you know, much better than the ocean in my opinion. I'd prefer a lake over the ocean. I live in San Diego. I don't care. Fuck the ocean. It's not for me.
Yep. Don't like it.
Yeah, sand, like salt water, like it doesn't go with this
The
hairy
seaweed,
Jewish
bro.
physique. And you know, like that shit. This is like plankton. It just gets caught up in that shit. It's horrendous. So, so we're now in Washington and we're going to this wedding and it's like the wedding. Why we did this, I could not tell you. But oh, I know exactly why. It's because everyone else that was at this wedding lived in Washington and was going home from this fucking lake the next day, right? So we decided to drive home the next day after this wedding. Poor
No
choice.
stops.
No. Yeah. No. Come on. What do you think this is? The fucking
I don't know.
gumball
I
and a
just,
Previa? Get out of
I
here.
mean,
Previa.
if you're willing to,
no.
to sweat to death in a
No. We
Previa, of all
stopped.
things, fuck.
We
it's a hell of
stopped.
a
We
coffin.
stopped. We either stopped. I think we stopped. The first, we must have stretched this out into 2 days. No, we didn't. We drove from Washington to, I believe, San Francisco, and that was
It's quite a stretch.
a good 14 or so ish hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big
With no air conditioning. We get into California and it's hot. And now we're listening to Waze's dipshit fucking turn me around, save a minute directions because like we want to get there. It's so hot. And then we're like, we're so far into nowhere right now. There's like nowhere to stop. I can't pee. I can't get a fresh water. I can't buy a bag of ice to just put on my nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like it's just not. It's not there. And so we're just in no man's land, farmland. Like what? Grapes of Wrath. Where that happened. That's where we are. Okay. Like, and so we're there, and it's hot, and I've so back to the wedding. We get to the wedding.
No, don't do this to
It's
us.
very quick. We get to the wedding. The wedding's great, fun time, right? It's in a big barn. They have big barn doors in the barn, but it's not like a.
I'm getting
barn.
a pretty
It's
good
like
clue
nice
as
barn.
to who the people
Right,
getting
right.
married were. Yeah.
They live in Washington. They're just those, you know,
Lesbians?
like that's no. Come on, they're like just
It's a fair assumption,
they
I
just
guess,
had a
there, but
kid,
no.
but like
He probably had like a high and tight cut,
not
and
like
a
no,
beard.
come on, just
My
like
question is,
And he probably
though,
wore suspenders. Yeah.
Did you pick up passengers while you were at the lake? Little buggies or something. What is how do you know?
no. So like the wedding went great, and then it
Yeah.
got to like 10 o'clock, right when the wedding was wrapping up, and then a swarm of fucking mosquitoes came into the barn, and I got mosquito bitten between this knuckle, and that knuckle, and so this hand just swollen to death. I got bitten on my legs. I got bitten right behind my ear. You couldn't
God.
my neck was touching my ear. That's how swollen this shit was behind my ear. I was a nightmare. I got bit like on the side of my head. I was a mess. And now I'm sweating. Now I'm driving home.
Is this a fond memory?
Yeah, no, looking back it was like hilarious. But like then it was like the worst experience ever.
Yeah,
but
I
like
know
the
what you
van
mean. Yeah.
was perfect. You know, other than not having air conditioning, which was my fault. I didn't get it fixed before we went. I could have,
Yeah.
but I didn't. And I was like, we'll be fine. And I was wrong. And I was like, it's, you know, we're going to Washington. It doesn't get hot there. And she's like, but it gets a little, you know,
It's a little moist.
Yeah. And I was like, Dad, you know, we'll have the windows. It's fine. No worries, right? big worries. So I'm driving home. And most of the way I'm driving home with my bug-bitten fucking dumb shit knuckles on top of the steering wheel, just getting
Hot sun.
beaten down on them. I'm sweating and I'm scratching and itching and sweating, and it's fucking miserable. But like looking back, I don't know why that was like a great time.
God.
You got one more yet?
I thought David had one, no?
Oh no, I did mine. It was the prep.
Yeah, he cut. Yeah, the cover.
Oh.
Yeah, he cut his brother off. I have one that I want to close with. I know. I
Oh,
know.
all right.
As long as you don't tell the story.
I remember. No, you can't. I remember there was. Oh fuck! Now I'm just remembering other stories. It was the day of the Toyota sponsored event because it was the Toyota Corolla's 50th anniversary. They had an 80s Toge
Okay.
rally.
Oh.
And
Tell me more.
it was up in LA. And it was a pretty long one. But Rory had gotten a spot in it. And Rory at this time had the Cressida, and we were both super proud of this thing.
Ooh,
I was proud he had it. He was super proud that he had it. And
It was a really nice Cressida.
I don't remember if I like went to his house or if
Do
he
you know who
picked
he
me
bought
up.
that
or-
from?
Yeah, it was like some super old lady.
Oh, do you know who he sold it to?
I don't think he sold it yet.
It.
He hasn't
No.
sold it yet.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You want it, don't you?
No. I know somebody with a super nice Cressida that's like in the same friend group as how you.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah. So I think he picks me up, and we get in like this 80s stuff. I had an outfit tailored for this event.
Is it the shirt that I think it is?
It's the blue and white striped one.
Yeah, the shirt.
We actually had to do a lot of stuff to that shirt. We had to turn it because it had two darts at the top by the shoulders. We had to turn it to a center seam just so we could take it in. I had some shorts tapered. They were herringbone. And I got white shoes. I was like, this is like the only time I'm going to wear them, and they're going to be clean.
Yeah.
And I think he just wore what he normally would wear. I think he wore
Some Toyota dirty thing.
No. I think he wore his thermal,
Toyota's a war.
like his red kind of like buttonless thermal, whatever. And he let me drive it all the way up to LA. And you know that rock? You know that where the highway goes
in the
between
middle of the highway,
the
that you
cliff
always hit,
and
or
the rock?
pothole?
Yeah.
Which one are you talking
No,
about?
no, not the rock
Oh.
in the road. No, like but like the one that's always in car commercials and stuff. You know, like, it's because it's the 101,
Oh.
and you have
oh.
you have the cliff, and then you have the freeway, and you have this big rock.
Yeah, that's up
Right?
on slow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
driven
That
so
one.
many
Yeah.
times,
Yeah. It's right on the coast.
Yeah, it's actually a really gorgeous spot. Like
It is super, yeah.
Every time I drive by it, I want to stop and walk to the top of that and get a fucking picture. It's a great spot.
Mhm. There's like a lot right behind it if you're going north, and it's right behind that rock, and that's where we started. And just these like everyday looking driven 80s cars with like mint Mark III Supras, right? You had I think some guy had he brought his Datsun Fairlady. And when I say Datsun Fairlady, I don't mean the Fairlady Z. I mean like one from the late '60s. And we're like, what the hell is that doing here?
Oh,
Yeah.
like a 510. But
Like that's not okay.
yeah.
Not like a 510.
No,
No,
like the
Fairlady's like the Roadster.
early
Yeah,
one.
the two-door. That is
Like the 2000 GTR,
like, right?
No,
Isn't that what they
it's
always do?
no, it's
No.
just the
Okay.
it's just
It's
what
just like a
turned
little-
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah.
predecessor to the 240Z.
It is, okay.
Yes. Okay.
That was weird, and I think somebody had like an MR2 turbo from the 90s, which also like okay, whatever.
Sure, fine.
But like
I love those.
and I had to I was the what do you call it? Because he was gonna drive the rally, but I was,
flag
You're
girl?
you're the co-driver.
I'm the co-driver. I was
Okay.
co-driver, so I had to read these instructions. It was a very sunny day, and I didn't have prescription sunglasses. I still don't. And so I had to put my sunglasses on, and then I had to put my glasses on over that so that I could both read and also look for street signs and tell them where to turn. It was a nice long drive, all through the nicer parts of LA, the parts that are less likely to smell like piss.
Yeah.
We did Mulholland.
The parts that
one
are
thing I
less
still haven't
likely
done,
where
I've
the
not
cops
done
are going to
Mulholland
tell
yet.
you, time to go.
And that's where a lot of photos were taken, and I have the photo on my phone still where I saw the organizer of the event because he would drive way ahead and take the shortcuts and be there to take pictures of everybody driving by. And I was like, oh, there he is. I took my phone out and I took a picture of him taking a picture of us. And it was nighttime by the time we were driving down, and that was a day, and I'm happy that he chose me to do that with him. There was a guy with a wicked mint RX-7, and not an FC, but like it was just so clean.
Turbo 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
White on white with white wheels? Or white
No, it
on
was black.
black with black
Black.
wheels?
I think it was black over red or something like that. It was
Ooh, baby.
very nice.
like that.
He brought his daughter.
I love an
Your
FC.
thing with the picture.
That guy was from Colorado or something.
Huh?
That the picture thing you were talking about made me think of a story. We were leaving Ferrari, like the place I worked, and driving to the other bit of Ferrari, which was also the place I worked. They were separate, and we were just in traffic at a
The
light.
final part of the rally, we went to the Toyota headquarters back when it was still Toyota headquarters and not like Kia or Hyundai or whatever it is now.
Oh, sick!
Where they had, it was a museum. You walk in the front doors, there is a 2000 GT sitting right there.
Whoa, that's rad.
My God.
Yeah, in the white over black.
Yeah.
And then you go in the back, dude. They got the mint condition vehicles of everything they'd ever made, and they even had like the Lola bodies.
Yeah.
From the like the 70s, the Le Mans cars that they had. It's like, holy fuck, dude! And I wanted to ask the guy to let me sit in it, but I was like too shy.
I think we were at Radwood one year, and they had like a Toyota booth or whatever, and it had like a brand new '97 Camry and like a car from every single year.
Yeah,
for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Well,
But
okay.
oh, sorry, I'm almost done. So we were in traffic in this 360 convertible with the top up because like it's not fun to drive with the top down, in my opinion. I don't like it. But there were these people in the car next to us in traffic, and they were like, it was a rental car, like they were obviously tourists, and they were like taking a picture of themselves like this, and I don't know if they were trying to get the car in the background because it was like a Ferrari or whatever, and they were in La Jolla, and it just seemed like a thing to do. But the guy's taking the picture driving, and I was like, hey, to my buddy, look over there. Look over there. They're taking a picture, and let's be funny and like photobomb them, right? And
So you went like this?
no, and so we just both did this and like looked through the window because we were like way lower than they were because we were in that car, and we're like doing this through the window, and they take the picture and then look at the picture and then see us in the picture and then turn around and go ah, like it was just, I don't know, it was a fun time. That's all.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll close it out with Chuck's dumb story. Let's hear it.
No, you appreciate it.
Chuck, you gotta
And
throw
you'll
that
need
from
to,
that distance, bro.
You'll need to correct me because I won't. I don't remember why the Spitfire wasn't running. Let me gather myself. Had a lung beer. Anyways, so we were driving your mom's Subaru. Was it an Outback?
Are you talking about the engine? Yeah,
So
there's video of that.
so Andrew, it was me, you, and Zach, right?
Sam.
No, it was just the three of us in the car. It was just us in the car when this happened. I don't think you might be thinking of the right story. It was just the three of us. It's the middle of the night. We're driving around up and down.
Oh,
the
right. Yes, I remember that.
Now he does. His Spitfire wasn't working again for whatever fucking reason.
I think the
this was
differential.
Trunnions. No, I think it was the Trunnions.
No, God, what was up with those trunnions?
Oh, God, so bad. Anyways, his Spitfire wasn't running for whatever goddamn reason. It doesn't matter. We're driving his mom's Outback, and I forget what joke it started with or why, But we're driving along, and it just went kind of quiet, and Andrew, out of nowhere, just pretends to, like, die at the steering wheel. So he's driving along.
It was going down La Costa, the same.
Yeah, the same area, like always.
Yeah.
He's just driving along, and you just hear it go, beep, and he's not, like, he's face first in the wheel. Like this.
So there was nothing that
You
was
couldn't
like
see.
leading up to the joke. I had this planned for like a week. I was like,
It killed though.
I was like, man, that'd be so funny. It's just so stupid. And I'm just gonna wait for like the most inopportune time to just like fake an aneurysm while I'm driving
just go down.
these foos and
Take a header right
Yeah.
into the horn.
and
Yeah.
so I just waited, and it was just like, I don't know, they were probably bickering like always, and
Yeah, we argued a lot. Shits and giggles.
and then they just finally shut the hell up, and I just.
That's when you did it?
Yeah, it was totally
Oh
quiet.
my God!
And so I'm just like, this is
Yeah,
my moment.
I know.
I'm going like
So fucking funny. Yeah.
I'm going like 50 down this road, right? And it's just a moment of silence from my boy, myself, and I just fucking threw my head
You're like,
into
just-
the center
you're
of the
just like,
steering wheel. Yeah.
peace. And then
Yeah.
finally, peace.
Beep.
Right to the wheel. Oh my God! Oh my God!
So fucking funny, dude. One of the funniest memories I have. I can't believe I didn't think about this right now. Yeah. Just full on. Just
No, that
drive
timing
along
is
and
incredible.
Just and then.
Yeah. I was just like this. I was just,
And just fucking dying laughing, just beat the whole night. And I just
and then
remember
and then
we
and
were-
then
huh.
and then I did it again. I did it
Same
again
day?
the next time. Like it was, but this time it was while they were bickering just to shut them the hell up.
Yes, it was.
You're just like, I'm dead. I'm done.
They're just like, oh my god, no, I'm Ryan Gosling. No, you're not Ryan Gosling. I'm Ryan Gosling. No, I'm Ryan Gosling. And I'm like, this is the time. Me. And then they just were like, oh. Yeah. It killed.
But
Knocked
it shut
dead.
him up.
Yeah, we shut up.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, no,
It made him louder for a little bit, but
Yeah.
like I'd rather have it be a lot louder for like this much time, and then rather than like this loud like that much time. So
We used to drive to Arizona late at night. Like my dad would always play like classic rock, and so I would just like honk the horn to the song. And like the horn sounds the same every time, so it's out of tune. And I'm just like honking the horn to the words. And like we're driving past semis and shit, and they're just like, "What the fuck is that?" Are they dying? Like my dad's like asleep snoring, and David's asleep snoring, and I'm just like fucking rocking out to fucking REO Speedwagon, and I'm just like mashing the horn when I think I should, which is wrong. But like nobody could tell what I was honking ever.
Yeah.
But like it was just, I don't know, that was funny.
But I think that's a good place. That's our
that's
our
all.
stories.
That's all we got. We got more, but you just have to watch more episodes, I guess. Watch us with your ears.
10th episode. I think I'll just be.